Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is Thursday, June 5th, 2025, and we have another first for migrations, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. And there's a new blog post from the PyCore team, and we'll talk about that as well. This video is a little late today because Thursdays we do our weekly podcast on the Crypto Wolfpack, and that had me running a little late, so there isn't too much going on except for some crazy price action and an update on my long position, which I've been talking about off and on for the last few weeks. But first, the metrics. The circulating supply is 7.33 billion pi, and there were 57,514 user accounts migrated in the last 24 hours, totaling 27.8 million pi. There is 24.1 million pi in the Pi migration wallet, and there was a brief pause in migrations earlier today, but they've since resumed and are continuing right now. I mentioned yesterday that we had a first for Pi migrations in that it was running for 24 hours straight and was still running. At the time, it was 36 hours. Now it has run for more than 48 hours nonstop. And aside from a brief pause earlier today, they've now picked up. So it really looks like migrations are picking up the pace, and that's a good thing. The migrated unlocked rewards is at 2.11 billion pi, with 10.4 million pi unlocked in the last 24 hours, and now free to be traded on the open markets. Looking at the price action, the Pi coin is currently trading at 61 cents, which is down 5.46% from this time yesterday. The market cap is at $4.49 billion, which is down 5.19%. The daily trading volume is at $83.37 million, which is up 45.83% from this time yesterday. So as you can see, the volume is picked up, but it didn't quite go the way you might have hoped. As you can see here, after trading sideways at around 65 cents for a while, we've had a series of downward dips. And I will say right now, if you look right there, we got as low as 60.3 cents. And if you remember from last week, I had a buy order at 60 cents, which just barely missed hitting. Well, thanks to a user pointing out my noob mistake, I reset my buy order to kick in at 60.3 cents, and it hit. So now I am officially in on the long, and I'm in the process of determining what levels I want to set for this long. I don't know what I want to have for take profits or for my top or my stop loss. I'll let you guys know once I figure it out, and then I'll show you my trade. 60 cents for at least the last month has seemed to be the natural floor for the coin, meaning that there is strong resistance to letting that drop below that. In other words, there's strong support for keeping the price above it. If it breaks below 60 cents, then we have a shot at going back down to 40 cents. So we're just going to have to see how things play out. And if the news that I'm hearing today is any indicator, we're in for a rocky ride. There's a new blog post by the PyCore team, and it says, "Protect your Pi wallet, critical safety reminders." In open network, it's more important than ever to prioritize the security of your non-custodial Pi wallet and Pi. The immutability of blockchain means that mistakes in sharing your wallet passphrase with bad actors or phishing sites may result in irreversible transactions. Therefore, taking the right precautions now is essential. Do not interact with any website, app, or platform that asks you to input your wallet passphrase. That is not exactly wallet.pinet.com in the Pi browser. Doing so may irreversibly risk your entire Pi balance. Remember that the Pi browser is a browser, like any other browser such as Chrome, Safari, etc. So it's ultimately up to the individual pioneer to determine the safety and legitimacy of the sites and URLs they visit. To aid Pis in distinguishing fake Pi wallets, the authentic Pi wallet is also visually identified by a purple color in the navigation bar of the Pi browser, with a Pi logo featuring the Pi Core Team app's logo. If a scammer creates a fake Pi wallet that tries to phish Pioneer's wallet secret passphrase, they won't be able to modify the app URL or the associated UI of the browser that the official Pi wallet will have. Be especially careful on social media for fake websites, misleading ads, as in ads to fake websites, fake email addresses, and other places where malicious actors can give pioneers false impressions and false information. Your wallet passphrase is private and should never be shared. Remember that no Pi Core team member will ever solicit any authentication account information like wallet passphrases, account passwords, verification codes, etc. from you. Pi Core team members will never individually call pioneers, and pioneers should never submit information in platforms, websites, or apps not listed as official Pi apps and products in the Pi Safety Center. For two-factor authentication, or 2FA, verification required for migration wallet confirmation. Only trust 2FA emails sent from official Pi network domains like noreply@pi.email. For verified information, official links and domains, and previous safety announcements, refer to the Safety Center. It is the best place to stay informed and protected. And this is apropos because it comes a day after my warning of similar problems. The scammers are pushing hard to try to get your Pi. You need to know how to protect yourself. I have the first live test of my anti-scammer bot happening tomorrow around noon, and I don't know how it's going to go. I do know that my bot is as fast as it can be, and I've taken measures to ensure the transactions execute as fast as possible. But I also know that there are ways to do it faster. I've heard stories of people's Pi getting stolen in as little as 50 milliseconds. And I'm not sure how I'm going to perform against performance like that, but we'll have to see. Well, that's all I have for today. If anything breaks, I'll be sure to hop on here and let you know. But until then, don't panic, stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.